Hi, hello. We are going to talk about morphology, and the team members are Paola, Maria Jose, Ximena, Jazmin, and me, Uzihel.
Who described the term morphology? The term morphology is generally attributed to the German poet, novelist, playwright, and philosopher Johann Wolfgang, who coined it early in the 19th century in a biological context. Its etymology is Greek. Morph means shape, form, and morphology is the study of forms. In biology, morphology refers to the study of the form and structure of organisms, and in geology, it refers to the study of the configuration and evolution of landforms. In linguistics, morphology refers to the mental system involved in word formation or to the branch of linguistics that deals with words and the internal structure and how they are formed.
What is morphology? Morphology is the study of words. Morphemes are the minimal units of words that have a meaning and cannot be subdivided further. There are two main types of morphemes, free and bound. Free morphemes can occur alone and bound morphemes must occur with another morpheme. An example of a free morpheme is bad. An example of a bound morpheme is lee. It's bound because although has meaning, it cannot stand alone and it must be attached to another morpheme to produce a word. An example could be unhappiness. The morphemes are each word and the suffixes are the words that are in the beginning and in the end. The beginning is prefix and the word that is in the end, her name is suffix. To understand more, let's consider the word reconsideration. Consider is called the stem. A stem is a base morpheme to which another morphological piece is attached. The stem can be simple, made of only one part, or complex itself, made of more than one piece. A root is like a stem, in constituting the core of the word to which other pieces attach, but the term refers only to morphological simple units. For example, disagree is the stem of disagreement because it's the base to which meant and attaches. But agree is the root. Taking disagree now, agree is both the stem to which this attaches and the root of the entire word. To understand more, the stem or the root of disagree is agree because it's the only part that stands alone. Okay. Affixes are often the bound morpheme. This group includes prefixes, suffixes, infixes, and circumfixes. Prefixes are added to the beginning of another morpheme. Suffixes are added to the end. Infixes are inserted into other morphemes, and circumfixes are attached to another morpheme at the beginning and the end. Returning now to the word reconsideration, re and ation are both affixes, which means that they are attached to the stem, and the stem is consideration. Consider, which means that they are attached to the stem. Affixes like re that go before the stem are prefixes, and those like ation that go after are suffixes. There are two categories of affixes, derivational and inflectional. The main difference between the two is that derivational affixes are added to the morphemes to form new words that may or may not be the same part of speech, and inflectional affixes are added to the end of an existing word for purely grammatical reasons. In English, there are only 8 total inflectional affixes. These are the inflectional affixes: S, ed, eng, en, s, apostrophe and e and s, er, and est. And here are some examples. S refers to the third person singular present. An example is she waits. Ed stands for past tense. And an example is he walked. Eng is progressive. An example is she's watching. En is for past participle. And an example is she has eaten. S is for plural. And example, 3 tables. Apostrophe and S is for possessive. Holly's cat. Ear, comparative. Example, you are taller. EST is for superlative. You are the tallest.
What is a word? A word is a unit of meaning that is separate from the others by potential pauses in speech and blanks in writing. It is a unit of language that is very easy to identify, both in speech, in signs, and in writing. Morphosynthetic classification. It can be 2 types: variable word classes. Variable word classes are those that can vary in their inflection, gender, number, time, etc. They can be adjective, noun, verb, pronoun, and determinant. And invariable words do not carry inflectional morphemes, including adverbs, prepositions, postpositions, participles, conjunctions, and interjections. They can be adverbs, preposition, conjunction, and interjection.
Types of morphemes. There are 2 types of morpheme. The first type are free morphemes and the other type are bound morphemes. So free morphemes are considered as base words in linguistics. This means they can stand alone as a word. They are 2 kinds of free morphemes based on what they do in a sentence. The first kind is content words, and they make up the main meaning of a sentence, and the other kind are function words, and they serve as a grammatical connection between content words. Now, bound morphemes. Bound morphemes cannot stand alone as a word. They must be combined with another morpheme to complete a word. Some examples are pre, dis, in, on, full, able, mentally, easy. Like in the word prejudiced, discontent, intolerable, and receive. So here it's like more synthesized that there are 2 types of morpheme, free morphemes and bound morphemes. Free morphemes so are those that can occur alone, and bound those which cannot occur alone. The word wool has 1 free morpheme. The word woolen consists of 2 morphemes, wool, which is a free morpheme, and n, which is a bound morpheme.
Now I'm going to talk about inflection. Inflection, formally, flexion are accidents in linguistics that change in the form of a word to mark such distinctions as tense, person, number, gender, mood, voice, and case. English inflection indicates non-plural, for example, cat or cats. Noun case, the third person and singular, present tense, for example, he buys, past tense, for example, we walk, and aspect, and comparatives. Changes within the stem or main word part are another type of inflection, as in sing, sang, sung, and whose or guess. Inflection, conjunction. The inflection of English verb is also known as conjunction. Regular verbs follow the rules listed above and consist of three parts. The parts verb, present tense, the base verb plus ed, simple past tense, and the verb plus ed, past participle. For example, following these rules, the verb look becomes in both the simple past tense and the past participle, looked. While most verbs follow these conjunctions rules, there are over 200 words in English language that do not. For example, deal, drive, eat, feel, find, forget, go, begin, have, etc. English words follow different rules for inflection based on their part of speech and grammatical category. The most common rules are listed below. Part of speech, noun, grammatical category, number, inflection, s, es, and example is flower or flowers, glass or glasses. Part of speech, noun, pronoun, grammatical category, case, apostrophe and es, and s, Paul, Paulus, Francis, Francis's, and part of speech pronoun, grammatical category case, and inflection self and selfes, an example him, himself, them, themselves. Verb, past tense, we add ed, and example is open and open. The verb in present tense, we add s, and for example, open, opens. Adjective, degree of comparisons, we add er, and example is smart and smarter. Adjective, degree of comparisons, we add est, and example is smart and smartest.
The next topic is derivational morpheme. And a really quick definition would be like, in grammar, a derivational morpheme is an affix, or aka a group of letters added before the beginning or after the end. That it's called suffix, and at the beginning it's called prefix of a root or base word to create a new word or a new form of an existing word. Now, talking about inflectional morphemes versus derivational morphemes, we have these 2 points that two inflectional morphemes that can be added to nouns are with the apostrophe and an S to indicate the possessive case, and we add es to indicate the plural case. For example, here in the basic concept of the derivational morphemes is that they derive new words. In the following examples, derivational morphemes are added to produce new words which are derived from the parent word, better known as the root of the word. For example, happy is the adjective and happiness is the noun. As I mentioned before, we add the es to make the noun in plural. Examine is the verb, and examination is a noun. So we only have to add a little component to the end to make this word up noun. That's the point of the derivational morphemes. And then beauty, beautiful, and beautifully is the noun, is the adjective, and it's the adverb. Danger and dangerous is a noun, and in dangerous we add the O-U-S, as I mentioned before, just to make it an adjective. And in all cases, the derived word means something different than the root, and the root and the word class may change with each derivation. For example, in happy, it's like I'm happy, and that's one meaning. In happiness, happiness means the thing you are feeling, so it's not the same. Yeah. And here's a video about morphology, just in case you wanna watch it. There is it.
And I will tell you about morphology. What is morphology? Morphology is the study of morphemes and morpheme preparation for the creation of the word. What are morphemes? Morphemes are the smallest units of meaning in a language. They are commonly classified as either free morphemes, which can occur as separate words, or bond morphemes, which can stand alone as words. For example of free morphemes such as run, read, write, and the other basic words. We can say that bond morpheme and affix are similar, and for the example is unbreakable. So, unbreakable, the basic word is break, and the bond morphemes are un and able. If we put bond morpheme at the beginning of word, we call it as prefix, and at the end, we call it as suffix.
So this is all from us. We really hope you enjoyed and that you'll learn a little bit about morphology and morphemes. So thanks for your attention and see you next time.